Hi, I'm Jeff Baker from the Oregonian, and this is Marc Mohan. We're going to talk about Avengers, Age of Ultron, the new indie comedy from writer-director Joss Whedon, who is known for Firefly, and he made another little movie about Shakespeare last year. So this, I think, is a sequel to it, right?
Yeah, he just got his friends together again in his backyard and managed to cobble together this $250 million comic book spectacle. This is the sequel to the Avengers, apparently.
Is it? Really?
Yeah, number two. Yeah. See, maybe that's why you were lost.
Well, I was confused,
yeah.
Because Avengers, Shakespeare, it's often like the same thing in my mind.
There are some similar tropes.
Well, let's get into that. Mark, you wrote a review of Avengers, Age of Ultron. I wrote a column saying 9 reasons why superhero movies are so bad, and using Avengers, Age of Ultron as the example. So I think our positions are clearly staked out. Why don't you update us on the plot of the movie and what the 39 Avengers have been doing since the first movie.
Well, they've been avenging some more. Clearly, you've got your basic Avengers: your Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, Hawkeye, right? Your main 6, and they, in the course of this movie, gain a couple new comrades: the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And the big bad guy is Ultron, this evil robot that's created inadvertently by genius inventor Tony Stark, who isn't smart enough apparently to leave someone to watch over his computer lab when he goes to the big party celebrating.
I'm going to go to a party, and
some of these super geniuses are really stupid once in a while. But without that, there's no plot, so we're thankful.
With that, there's no plot, but
well, there is a plot.
But
it may not be completely linear. Well, there's not too much more than that. There are battles on most of the Earth's continents at some point or another. The Hulk goes nuts in Africa. There is an opening assault on a European Nazi castle type situation. Then there's more battles later. In between the battles, there are scenes where there are not battles, where characters sit around and talk and banter. And those are kind of the best parts of the movie. That's where you see Joss Whedon, indie auteur, coming through and creating some interesting dialogue and character moments. But you're going to talk about how you don't like all the battles and all the plot.
I don't like. How do I not like it? Let me count the ways. I'll just give you 3. One is the structure that I think that you touched on with, the whole thing. It's like downtime, quip, session, battle, downtime, quip, session, battle. Some of the quipping is good, but again, for $250 million, I want more than a few quips. I want battle scenes that make sense. I want characters where there's something at stake, and I felt like there was nothing at stake with any of these characters. Nothing's going to happen to them. The one the one superhero who doesn't make is like, it's like, I think his name is Mr. Expendable, right?
No, that's a whole different, that's a DC guy.
It's, he was, he had dead meat written on him from the get-go, and they grieved him for like 10 seconds. The 2 new characters were aptly summed up by one of the plot explainers, secondary characters, saying one of them's fast and one of them's weird.
Yeah.
But neither one of them are compelling. Another thing, the specific thing I want to pick on, the dream sequence in this movie, I thought was laughably awful. I thought it was just patently stupid.
It's not so much a dream sequence as and it wasn't. I'm not saying it was a strong point in the movie, but I think you're a little misinterpreting it to say it was a dream sequence. It was more of an illusion.
Well, the character X cast a really lame spell on most of the Avengers, and they went and had some bad flashbacks to their tough childhoods and what drove them to avenge him.
I think that it sounds like what bothers you about it is in a way, it's just the tropes of the genre, right? It's almost like criticizing a musical for being made up of scenes with songs and then scenes without songs, or, part of it is just, this is the genre and that's how it works. And if you're not a fan of that, then that's fair enough. But it's also a bit much to expect it to be totally different than that. And I didn't think this was a great movie. I think there are many better superhero movies. It was overstuffed. There was too much going on. There were too many characters. But ultimately, it was still fun and engaging, and I thought the actors, most of them were charismatic enough, although Downey's getting a little old.
Well,
I'll say.
well, let me address your point quickly about fan of the genre. It's like it's not my favorite genre, but I don't dislike it, and there are plenty of superhero movies in recent years that I have liked. I'll name three. The first Iron Man was good. Guardians of the Galaxy is good. X-Men First Class, the X-Men reboot, I thought was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's like I said, there's nothing to grab onto. There's nothing at stake. You know nothing's going to happen to any of these characters. They're just sort of flitting and flying around. The villain was a non-villain. The people they attack, who they fight, aren't even real people. They're robots.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is
smash them with impunity.
Exactly. That's exactly what's wrong with it. It's because if they were real people and they smashed them with impunity, it would be disgusting, and people wouldn't like it. I think that I just think that they're comic book characters, whether good or evil. I think this guy who plays Captain America is like a walking two-dimensional comic book person. He has no personality whatsoever. Yeah. At least Thor and Iron Man have some zip to them, and I thought the Hulk, as played by the excellent Mark Ruffalo, clearly the star of the show.
He brings the most, I would say. I guess so. I think we probably agree that this movie doesn't transcend the comic book superhero genre, but in my opinion, it does embody a lot of the joys that you can find in that genre. But I'm not finding a lot of joy in this one anyway. But I think we could continue this indefinitely. Our director is signaling us that, like Avengers: Age of Ultron, we've gone on too long, and we'll be back next week. This is what you get for your $250 million.
That's right. A long, not engaging movie. So thanks, and see you next time.